So why retention.com B2B? So our current business, retention.com, we sell into e-commerce and we bootstrap 22 million ARR in 4 years. I'm doing a big work in public on LinkedIn that's getting a lot of attention. That product is a person level website visitor identity solution. So an anonymous visitor hits the site, we resolve it to an email address, and it powers for e-commerce stores a bunch of list growth and abandonment use cases. I have a COO named Santosh Sharan, who's a big B2B guy, and he built ZoomInfo and Apollo.io. He has always told me nobody's doing identity like this in the B2B space, but they need it. The leads are super valuable, more valuable than e-commerce. Everybody in the space is just resolving IP address to the account, and they're stopping there. And they're not going to the person or the individual. So finally, our e-commerce business is stable enough for us to go do something else, and here we are. The solution's live. It works great. It's totally free to get in there, and 25,000 leads a month, which is likely more than anybody will actually resolve. You can do whatever you want in the web app, and you start paying us when you start pushing data elsewhere to activate it. Super easy to get started. We're trying to make it frictionless. If you have any questions, hit me up at adam@retention.com, and I would encourage you to go check out our community space where we're doing a big work in public for getting this off the ground, and a bunch of other content like this lives there. It's retention.com/community. So the number one question I get about retention.com B2B is, how is this different than 6 Sense, Demandbase, or Clearbit? So the tragic flaw of all of this ABM technology is that you run ads, people click on the ad and they hit your website, and these services tell you the company or the account that hit your site and clicked on the ad, but they cannot tell you who the person was. So some of them will guess based upon the geolocation or maybe the ideal customer profile that they know you have or who's in your CRM, but that is not actually that helpful in most cases, because who cares if someone at Microsoft in Atlanta clicked on your site? You need to know who that individual was. So difference number one between 6 Sense, Demandbase, and Clearbit and retention.com is we resolve an anonymous website visitor down to the actual person. Meaning if Adam Robinson from retention.com clicks on your site, we will tell you that it is Adam Robinson from retention.com and give you my name, my title, my company name, my industry, my business email address, and my page view history and count from both this session and of all time. Can you imagine what you can do with that? The other key difference between 6 Sense, Demandbase, and Clearbit and retention.com B2B is those vendors are all doing a technique called reverse IP lookup, meaning they look at the IP address of the person hitting your website and they match it to known ranges that are owned by a company of that IP. So we're doing a strategy called publisher authentication networks, meaning we are marrying anonymous ad tech identifiers with profiles of real people. We've been building out this network for 5 years. It doesn't use third-party cookies, which is always everybody's next question. And it also powers the product behind our e-commerce business. The two benefits of doing it this way are, number one, you get down to the person, and number two, the match rates are far higher than reverse IP lookup. It's like 30 to 40% of your US traffic. The downside is that it's only the USA and it doesn't work in Europe or Asia or Canada. So another question they hear a lot is, it's really great that I can see that these people are on my website. What should I actually do with it? So one of my favorite things to do with this data is simply look at it every day. I log in and I see, we sell to e-commerce stores, that somebody from Nordstrom and Lululemon and Four Sigmatic are actually on my website. And I can either in a manual way or programmatically, I can have us start sales workflows related to targeting them based upon what we're looking at. What I also like doing is super high value prospects. I like to connect with them on LinkedIn so that they'll start getting served my LinkedIn content, and I will slowly over time become a celebrity in their mind. So for growth marketers, you can retarget someone who hit your demo page and left, which is a super powerful workflow. Or for instance, PLG Motion, they hit your pricing page and they leave. You can also set up something to automatically retarget them. BDR teams can send the perfect piece of content to a prospect at the perfect time based upon what pages they were on. A product page, for instance. You could send somebody additional content related to that product page that they're looking at. because they're doing research on you and your competitors. Show back up with more that's contextual. It's a very nice soft sell. So AEs can receive alerts in Salesforce or HubSpot CRM when an open op returns to the website and is poking around. How valuable is that? Even more valuable is when multiple people from the same company on the same day or within a few days are looking at your site that is an open op. That's a buying committee, and that is a major signal that they're progressing down the funnel and you would have been previously unaware. So at large companies, marketing teams can figure out which keywords, campaigns, and content are resonating with their true ICP by saying, this campaign drew these types of titles in industry. Some big marketing teams treat these as MQLs and they try to further qualify them into SQLs. You can also filter down to the ICP website visitors and then run ads to them specifically for cheaper than on the ABM platforms. Another question I get asked all the time is this GDPR compliant? The answer is our traffic is US only, meaning we have our IPs ring fenced, our profiles are all US profiles, and they all have a US postal address tied to each one. There's no Canada, no Asia, no Europe. Therefore, European legislation has no jurisdiction over us because it has no jurisdiction over data, people, and technology that only functions in the USA. We can't have a GDPR policy because we only operate within the US. And so GDPR is literally irrelevant to our technology, and using our tech does not make you not compliant with GDPR. If you're a European company and you can use this technology in the US, and it doesn't make you not compliant. Another question I get asked is, what are you going to do with my data? So the answer is nothing. Your data is your data. We will not sell or repackage and market your data in any way, shape, or form to any third parties. Furthermore, we do not share data amongst our customers. Our publisher network that we use to do identity is how we do identity. We do not do identity via our customers on either the e-commerce side or the B2B side. I will put links to a full legal FAQ in the comments of the video that spell this out crystal clear so that you can pass it along to your legal team and get all of your compliance boxes checked. Another question I get asked all the time is, does this work outside of the USA? The unfortunate answer is it does not work outside of the USA. It is only a US technology. And that is the unfortunate reality of the situation. If you have any questions about that, hit me up at adam@retention.com. I would encourage you to go to our community space at retention.com/community. We got tips and tricks there, making content every day, and we're showing you every single thing we're doing to get this business off the ground.